All right, we're live. All right, hey everybody, welcome to Crown Council Live. This is our weekly program. We're grateful to connect with you. We already have Steve and his guests live coming to us from Eagle U. So grateful to connect with them. Steve, do you want to introduce where you are and what we're doing?
All right, so we are in Baldwin City, Kansas, and I'm going to shift the camera here because if you don't know where Baldwin City, Kansas is, Dr. Chris Leisler can tell you because he is the dentist in Baldwin City.
It's a small
Kansas.
town. We don't
It is
need more
a
than
small
me.
town. So, so we're at Eagle U, and we are on the campus of Baker University. We're about an hour outside of St. Louis, and
Kansas City.
I'm sorry, we're an hour outside of Kansas City.
Wrong state, but-
Yeah,
Are you
wrong-
sure? Are you sure?
I
It's
was
been a
outside
while.
of Kansas City. And one of the cool things about Baker, oldest university in Kansas,
It is.
correct? Older than the state of Kansas. And we take over the whole campus here for the week. And what you can see behind me a little bit, we got students chowing down for lunch. So we just finished our mentor roundtable. So we had about 50 professionals from all over that came in, and the students interviewed them today
Nice.
to learn from their experience, copy their genius. And so we've had an amazing week. So Dr. Chris Leisler, Laura Masters, who's from Napa, California, long time fan of Eagle U. And we were trying to figure out first Crown Council event you came to was in what year? Remember?
What was the first one? I don't
It was very first one. So that would have been in 95, probably.
Wow. Very good.
And then Dr. Ken Guest,
Dr. Guest.
also a Kansan from Salina, Kansas. Ken, longtime Crown Council member. We're on the third generation of guests coming to Eagle U. And Ken's also the founder of the Eagle U Endowment Fund, which funds scholarships for Eagle U. And then David Rue, who has Accelerated Dental Assisting Academy and is part of our faculty.
Yes.
So we'll start with David. So this is David's first time to Eagle U. Share with everybody your experience.
Honestly, it was I learned a lot myself. This was incredible. I kept thinking if I was able to participate in something like this 20 years ago, I can't even imagine the whole 7 year what's the phrase? 7 year head starts is true. What's amazing is as a few kids, I guess young adults that I spoke to, they all said something similar. I asked them, like, how did you get here? Why are you here? And every one of them said the same thing. It was either my sibling or my aunt or someone in their world came back and they weren't the same. They were, and I was like, man, what an impact. And now I can see why. And so the mentorship here, the leadership here, it's incredible. It really is a life-changing experience for a lot of the young students here.
Nice.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
So Ken Guest, and I'm going to make sure I got the credentials right. Ken, and Stu, you can check the records.
Okay.
He is a charter lifetime qualified member of the Crown Council. Did I get all that right,
Do you
Ken?
have any more relatives on there?
You got it. So Ken was in our original group in the Crown Council and started. I love to tell Ken Guest stories because they are so good. But
As long as they're true.
they're all true. Built an amazing practice in Salina. And Ken very generously several years ago started the Eagle U Endowment Fund. And maybe Ken, you can just share a little bit about why. Your idea, that was not my idea, that was your idea. What was your idea behind that?
The why is because Eagle U changed my life and my wife's life because our kids, Katie and Scott, both went to Eagle U. And when they left Eagle U, they had, as you said, they had changed. And Katie used her skills in Eagle U to get into dental school. married another student that became a dentist, and those two came to Salina. We practiced together for 11 years, and they bought me out so I could retire.
Nice.
So Eagle U has changed my life in that way, and it's changed their lives in many ways.
So, and we're forever grateful for you for launching something that benefits students year over
Well, we
year.
just hope the foundation every year provide scholarships for students that can afford.
Will.
So, such a powerful experience.
So, one of the things that Laura brings to the table, so long association with Laura, and Laura coaches students.
I do.
Okay, so from a coach's standpoint, I'd love for you to share your insights into Eagle U and what we do here and how that fits with what you do. You get a chance to work with these students like this all year round.
Yeah.
So what do you see in Eagle U that helps them?
I don't know that there's much more I could add to, except the beautiful thing about adding like taking 7 years off of getting where they want to go. I've seen kids create connections and mentors in this program that have literally catapulted their careers and created networking skills that serve them for all of their lives. And over the years, I actually taught in it for a little while in the Eagle U. And I've sent kids over the years and just watched their lives change. And what's cool about being able to coach some of these kids is sometimes they just need someone to help them really believe that they can do all the things that they just learned, because there's so much that happens in that week. And then just to be able to kind of like help it settle in and integrate and help them really begin to take action from it is a really fun thing to do as a coach. And I just don't think there's anything like this in the world. And my dream is that somehow it gets to scale in some way that more kids have access to this, and to people like this group is here speaking in to this man's genius that created Eagle U. So it's fantastic, because it was like we were all hanging around in those days, and I was married to a dentist at that time, and we're like, we just need something like this for our kids, and they created it. And so many kids have been affected, so it's a legacy for sure.
Very cool. All right, Dr. Leisler lives in the host city for Eagle U, Baldwin City, Kansas, and is the head dentist in town, and has been really instrumental in connecting us with the local community. We had the local school district foundation was here. The superintendent has been here. We've had several students from Baldwin City, including one of your own.
Yep.
Who came last year.
2 years.
2 years.
He's come twice.
Okay, so from a parent's perspective,
Okay.
you get to wrap us up.
So I actually, my office joined Crown Council 2 years ago. I had already known about Eagle U. I was always intrigued by it, and I got the vibe and the energy from Crown Council inspired me to say, yeah, I need to send my older son to Eagle U. So 2 years ago, I guess 3 years ago now, he went under great duress. He did not want to go. I've never seen him so angry at me. We made him go. He came home and he asked if he could go back the next year because he enjoyed it so much. So he went 2 years in a row. And last year I joined the mentoring roundtable, and I myself got to experience it firsthand and loved it. And yeah, I'm just so lucky that it's right here in my backyard. It's just,
I think you
just
like
great.
walked over from the office.
I did. Yeah. It's literally 2 blocks away. So, it's not a big town, but, yeah, really lucky to have you here, and really grateful for what it's done for my son and giving him some clarity and inspiration, and, just a great experience all around.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's just a little snapshot of what we've done all week. A lot more to come. So we just did our big mentor roundtable today. We're going to do a recap this afternoon. And what the students don't know is that we're having a public speaking contest.
Yes.
So they get the opportunity to write a speech and give it in front of the whole group today. We're going to have a contest, some winners. We'll do the final speeches tonight. Pam Peterson, who leads our total patient service team, she is Miss Etiquette. And so we're doing a formal dinner with the students tonight with full place setting, the whole deal. So they get to learn which fork to use.
Love it.
So a lot of fun stuff we do here. So thanks for letting us in, Stu, and giving us a little time to share what we've been able to have a blast. A lot more to come.
I've got a few recorded students who've shared their testimony, so I'm going to play those little videos here so everybody can see what some students have said in the past. But grateful we could connect this morning. Keep it up. Will you guys wrap up tomorrow?
Yeah, we wrap.
Oh,
We wrap up tonight with Eagle U prom, but they don't.
Oh, okay, okay.
A lot of surprises coming today. So
Fun. Thank
anyway,
you.
thanks for having us, Stu. Thanks,
Hey,
everybody.
Steve. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Hey, I'm going to share my screen real quick. I want to make sure that everybody knows. I realize that once we got started, that there might be some people who don't quite understand or know what Eagle U is. So every year for the last probably 30 years, we have hosted what has really become a Crown Council annual event weekend for young students, and it is called Eagle U. Steve is the mastermind behind it. As you heard David say, it's a 7-year head start, career head start, and what these kids experience are systems. You can read here, ideas, techniques that help a young, maybe high school senior, early in college, work through some of the challenges that they're faced when trying to choose a career or how to launch their career. So they started on Monday. Students come from all across the country, and some of the best parts are those mentors that are there. But this is eagleuniversity.org. They just do this once a year, so it's just this 1 week a year that all these students and mentors gather. And this is their little website. You can navigate here to read more about Eagle U, dates, some fun videos, things that you can learn as a student, why you would go, what students learn when they go. But so fun to be a part of. Grateful that we could check in here with them. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I've got a few testimonies from students who joined last year. I'm going to play them. Let's see how long these are. That one's 12 minutes, and then this one is 10 minutes. So I've got about 20 minutes worth of little videos here that I'm going to play. These are students' testimonies about what they learned, why they went, things that they took home, and just a little more information about Eagle U and just some inspiration, especially about why you would send a student and how impactful this is. So I'll share this first one with Cameron. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, if you're not early, you're late.
That's right, man. Are you no school today or what's going on? Eagle U. And so Eagle U has always been a huge part of our culture, the kids that are part of our dental practice teams. And so I just wanted to hear, right, your experience. I wanted to meet you and just talk about the experience you had to share that with the rest of our Crown Council members. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
Okay. We're already recording, so I'll just start, and I mean we can be casual, so it's all good. So,
Sweet.
all right. Hey everybody, Stuart Anderson here with Cameron Welch. Cameron, how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Very cool. Hey, so Cameron is joining us with our Eagle U specific live stream where we're talking to students, mentors, everybody that makes Eagle U run. And Steve and the Eagle U team thought it would be fun to talk to Cameron about his experience, what he's learned, why he went, what he takes home, and just kind of the view of Eagle U from a student and how it works. So, Cameron, would you mind introducing yourself, where you're from, how old you are, maybe talk about your room, how posters look good. So, would you just do that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Cameron Welch. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Emporia, Kansas, but right now I'm in Lawrence, Kansas, attending Kansas University.
Okay.
I'm majoring in journalism with a minor in film. I'm hoping to become a writer someday. And you can kind of see where a lot of that's come from. I love comic books, comic book movies, everything in that sphere. So the end goal is to become a next comic book writer. So that's kind of my dream. And that's what I've been working towards.
I love it. Will you talk just a minute about how you got introduced to Eagle U and maybe that journey? Were you like, oh, I don't want to go to this, or were you on board? Did somebody try to make you go, or can you just talk about that for just a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got introduced to Eagle U through the JAG program, which for those who don't know, it stands for Jobs for America's Graduates. It's
Okay.
sort of like a future preparation program, teaches you about real life skills from job interviews to budgeting, everything you need to know for success in the real world. And essentially, I was approached and they said, hey, we think you could really benefit from this program called Eagle U Leadership Camp over the summer. And I was like, okay, seems kind of interesting. I'll look
Hmm.
into it. And so I researched a bit about it online, and I was like, this seems really really cool. I think I'd like to go. And I was talking to some of my other friends about it, and they were like, yeah, you should definitely go because they thought it seemed really cool. And so I was nervous to go the first time, but by the end of the first day, I was like, this is where I want to be. And
Cool.
so by the end of that first year, I was like, I definitely need to come back next year. I loved it so much.
I love that. So have you been twice?
Yep, this past July was my second time, and I've
Okay.
actually applied to become a team leader. So hopefully next year I'll
Yes.
be on the other end of that.
Okay, cool. Maybe let's talk about that for just a minute then. Um, when you look back, what things, if you're talking to students, like let's say a student's like, oh, I don't want to go, not worth it. Can you talk about what you actually took away from Eagle U as a student? I mean, what how did it affect you? How did you change? What did you learn? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the big thing I would say is you always hear in life these big cliches like follow your dreams. If you work hard, you can do whatever you want. Everyone hears those from the day that they're born. And so, if I'm being honest, part of me going into Eagle U expected it to be, a week of people just saying things like believe in yourself and stuff like that. What I didn't expect was what I actually got, which was them teaching you the practical methods and steps on how to do those things, how to actually make your goals into achievements. And that was the biggest thing I took away is that anywhere you go, you can hear these things about working hard, reaching for the stars and stuff. But Eagle U teaches you how to do it, how to network, how to time management, things that you can actually take away and apply, actionable steps. That was something, the biggest thing for me. So every time now I leave Eagle U, I can actually have a plan of what I need to be doing in order to reach my goals.
Very cool. I love that. When it from the first time to the second time, is that what you took away from the first time, or how did things change from one year to the next?
Yeah, absolutely. So after I left Eagle U the first time, I was on fire. I had this big list of goals I wanted to complete, and I was like, I'm gonna nail these out. I wanted to write like 500 pages by the end of graduation. I wanted to have a YouTube channel. I wanted to do all these things. And so I was working hard at it for about a month. And then, school got in the way, life got in the way, all these things. And so high school graduation comes around, and I look back at those goals and I'm like, what happened? Those kind of fell off for me. So then this past year when I came to Eagle U, my main thing I wanted to get away was, okay, how do I keep that momentum going? How do I make sure that I can keep these things as a priority? And thankfully, I came back through Eagle U and I got this more advice on how to make sure I can stay consistent, how to motivate myself to keep these things going. And I'm happy to say that since my second time through Eagle U, I've been much more productive on actually keeping these goals up to date. So it's been about 2 months now, and I'm still holding strong. I'm still completing those goals. So hopefully by the next time I come, I'll be able to say I've accomplished a lot of those goals.
That's cool. I mean, it kind of happens with everybody, Cameron. Sometimes those, you know, a lot of motivation. Sometimes it wanes a little bit, up and down, but yeah, improving every day. What a great goal. So awesome. Hey, Cameron, can you talk about? I want to talk about specifically a few things that happen at Eagle U. So there's a lot of great speakers. There's a lot of presenters. Maybe talk about the format of how it works. Like, what are you actually doing? Can you explain it? If a person's like, what is this even like? Can you talk about what it's like day to day at Eagle U?
Yeah, great question. So you show up to Baker University, and essentially you'll get put into these smaller groups of about like 8 or 9-ish people. And I really like that because it makes it a lot easier to make friends because, you're in these groups of people and you get to do all of these like, warm up activities with them. You eat lunch and dinner with them and you get to talk with them. And then what most of your days consist of is there's tons of different guest speakers and workshops and seminars, and a lot of them deal with different things like different skills. So maybe one day you'll have a guest speaker who's going to come and teach you about, making sure your social media is appealing to people who might want to hire you. Or the next day you'll have someone like Ron White, who's a memory champion, and he'll teach you how to, memorize an entire textbook in one night. And so every day you'll go through maybe 3 or 4 of these workshops, and you have a little workbook that you can take notes in and follow along with these activities so that you can actually remember all of it. And then they also have a bunch of different fun activities you create a vision board. Mine's hanging up right over there. You bring magazines, you cut them up, and you stick them to create goals and stuff. There's little parties, and there's etiquette dinners and stuff like that. So they make sure that you're not just sitting in an auditorium the whole time having fun, listening. So you get up and you move around, but you also, you sit there and you learn, and it's engaging all the way throughout. I'll say.
Very cool. And can you talk about for a minute the other students, people that you met? What's that like?
I would say that's probably my number 2 favorite thing. Number 1 is the lessons that I learned.
Nice.
But the number 2 is every year, and I mean this wholeheartedly, my small group, I end up, they feel like a family. And I know that sounds like cheesy and cliche, but every time when the end of camp comes around, I'm just I'm so bummed because I'm I'm going to have to wait 365 days before I can see these guys again. And so, we have these group chats and we check in on each other, see how their goals are doing. But it's always just the most amazing thing to see how everybody comes out of their shells. And by the end of it, everybody's just so open and honest, because it might start out where there's out of your group, there's 2 people who talk to each other over here and then some people over here. But then by that last dinner, everybody's talking and laughing and joking. And it really makes the end of Eagle U is the hardest part because you have to say goodbye. But then that just makes you more excited to come back the next year and say, hey, I remember you were talking about starting a podcast. How's that been going? Or say, remember, I was talking about writing this book. Check out how it's been going. And then the connections, other people might be interested in doing similar stuff to you. So maybe throughout the year, you can work with them on stuff like that. So the biggest thing is I guarantee you will make friends if you go to Eagle U. I challenge you not to. Even if you're the most introverted person of all time, you will, by the end of it, be dancing and laughing and having fun. That's a guarantee.
Fun. Cameron, you are awesome. I'm grateful you would join me for a little bit. If you're listening to this or watching this interview, we would obviously love to invite you to be part of Eagle U. Cameron will be there next year as your mentor, as your trainer, as your friend. So really fun to be able to connect with you and hear about your experience. Anything else we missed? Anything else you want to say before we go?
Really, all I can say is I know there's students out there who I've talked to before. They've reached out to me and they're like, hey, I had the opportunity to go to Eagle U, but I'm not sure, I don't have any other friends who are going. It'll just be me. I don't know what it's like. Genuinely, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it is 1 week. It's 5 days. It will be the best risk you can take. And I mean that. I would say that even if I'm not on this podcast. It sets you up on an amazing trajectory. I would not be where I am right now without Eagle U. How much it motivates me and inspires me, the people that I meet, the lessons that I learn. By the end of the first day, you will understand that I am not overhyping it at all. I guarantee you. No matter if you're worried about making friends or whether it's a waste of time, no matter what, just give it. By the end of the first day, I swear to you, you will see that all of it is worth it. It's the best risk you can possibly take. So please just take the risk and go to Eagle U.
Nice. Love your enthusiasm, Cameron. Can't wait to watch your own story unfold, and grateful for taking a few minutes to share with us today, man. Have a great one.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
You have a nice day.
All right. Very good, Cameron. What a great young man. We have one more interview from Vivian that I'm going to play, then a few more other items for the live stream today, but another inspiring interview with Vivian 10 minutes long. So hopefully you enjoy her experience with Eagle U. Here we go.
That like the other team had the next game that like the
About your experience and student, which is fun. I'll just ask you some questions and stuff. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, everybody. We are here with Vivian. We're talking about Eagle U. Grateful that Vivian just finished a volleyball game. So, I mean, she's an active student, which is fun, but also went to Eagle U back in July. And like we connected with Cameron, we are here to talk to Vivian about her experience with Eagle U, how she found it, the experience that she had. And that's it. That's all we're doing. So, hey, Vivian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Let's use our Eagle U skills. What was the best thing that happened to you today?
Today, the best thing that happened to me was when I won my volleyball game.
Oh, yes. Very cool. Would you introduce yourself just a little bit, where you're from, how old you are, just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Vivian. I'm from Massachusetts and I'm 16 years old. I went to Eagle U for 2 years and then I'll be going back for my third year next year. I go to Lowell Catholic High School in Lowell, Massachusetts, and I play volleyball, I run track, I play softball, I
Whoa.
help out in the campus ministry, I'm class president. Um, I sell tickets at sports events for like my sports directors, and I'm also a student ambassador.
Okay. Well, I'm nervous that you're not doing enough, so we need to figure out a way to get you to do more. That's very good. Hey, Vivian, how did you find Eagle U? What was like when you first heard about it? What was appealing? Can you talk about that? How you found Eagle U?
Yeah. So my parents own a dental practice and they went to a conference and they met Steve Anderson's dad and he introduced them to Eagle U and my mom asked me if I would like to go. And when she asked me, but I was excited to go just for fun, like to be there. And then I went and I had a really great time. I learned a lot and I just wanted to come back.
Very cool. So you've been 2 years. Was there a
Yes.
difference between going your first year and your second year? I mean, were you nervous? Were you always excited? Can you talk about maybe your first experience going to Eagle U?
Uh, when I first went to Eagle U, I was kind of nervous, but I was really excited to go on a plane because that was my first time going on a plane.
Nice.
So, but once I met my group and everything, I clicked with everyone instantly, and I learned so much that I didn't know before, and it was nice to have that going in high school as like a basis from
Mm,
going from summer into school.
yeah.
And I used a lot of what I learned at Eagle U my freshman year, and now I'm using it again in my sophomore year.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for just a sec. If somebody were to ask you, like, what are you learning? What are you coming home with? Can you talk about that for just a minute? When you go and you say you came back and used whatever you learned, can you talk about that for just a second? What did you learn?
One of the most important things for me, that I learned was to ask. They taught us to ask if we wanted something, all we had to do was put ourselves in the spotlight and ask whoever was in charge of it. And that's how I got into so many of my programs because I just asked.
Nice.
And now I'm so involved at school. I feel like I know everybody there, and it's just been really helpful to like meet new people because it made me more confident in feeling like I could just go up to anyone and start a conversation. And now that's what I'm known for at my school because I just go up to random people sometimes that I've never met and then I become friends with them. And so many people have witnessed this, but it's so true. And I love meeting new people. And it was great to have that confidence from Eagle U.
I love that. I love that you went, learned, but then also applied the things that you learned. That's so fun. Why did you feel like you needed to go back? Was it the environment? Did you just want to learn more? I mean, you're going back a third time.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about going back multiple times.
So when I wanted to go back because I felt like after the summer it was like a nice refresher for everything that I learned because sometimes it's just like you get too busy and then life happens. But when I went back, I relearned everything and now I'm doing the same thing as I was last year. But if I didn't, I feel like I would have forgotten a lot. That's just me because sometimes I have a bad memory. But I also just really love the people that I met there. I made so many friends that I still talk to today. And a lot of the team leaders, I like became really good friends with them at Eagle U and they supported me through like every single day there. Even when I was like nervous for any activity, my team leader was like, "No, you're gonna have fun. Go do it. You're gonna enjoy it." And I did. They were really positive influences, and I'm really grateful that I met them.
I love that. Very cool. I want to know, Vivian, if you were like, let's say one of your classmates came up to you and they said, "I'm thinking about going, but I don't know if it's worth it." What would be the first thing that you would say to somebody that wants to go? Or if I'm going to share this video with somebody who has a child who's like, "Oh, should I send them?" What would you say? What would you say to somebody who hasn't been, or if you wanted to encourage them to go?
I actually had an experience like that this year at Eagle U when we had our breaks. I was talking to one of my friends and he started telling me that he wanted to be a musician and I was like, "Oh my goodness, we just learned about this in a lesson. You should come to Eagle U if you really want to do this because they can give you tips." And it's a really good basis, not only just for like going into high school, but also going into college. My sister also goes. She's a sophomore in college, and I she's learned a lot, and she's doing great there. And I feel like it teaches you some principles that you didn't normally learn if didn't go, because it's such like a unique program. I've never heard of anything else like it, and I don't think a lot of other people have. And it just really like sets you on a good path for your future success.
I love that. Very cool. All right, Vivian. Well, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today. Is there anything I missed that you want to share about Eagle U?
I think we hit it all.
Okay.
It's just really great, and I encourage everybody to go.
I feel like you're gonna run Eagle U one day. Maybe that's the path you're on.
Maybe.
All right, cool. Vivian, you are awesome. I can't believe all those things that you just repeated to me about what you're doing in school. So good luck. Be sure that you absolutely do your best. But I'm grateful that there are people like you, Vivian, who are out here encouraging others to be their best and go to Eagle U. So good job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, have a great night. Good to connect with you.
It was nice to talk to you. Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So awesome. These are some of the students that go to Eagle U. We're grateful to focus on them for the first half of the show. You are encouraged again to go to Eagle U, Eagle University. Let's make sure I get it right. EagleUniversity.org. That is the homepage, the about page. Very fun. Grateful to connect with some of these students and with Steve. So anyway, a high recommendation. I went to Eagle U when I was just starting college. What a great opportunity it was for me. Some of the mentors that I met did change the way I studied, changed the way I was moving in my career. I especially loved one thing that really stood out to me was I learned how to speed read. I know that sounds ridiculous, but there was a person there that was a professional in retention of information and how it's done as you read. And I really thought that was interesting. I practiced it, and it's been a lifelong skill that has helped me in so many ways, especially reading textbooks in college. So very good. All right. Hey, we're going to transition just a bit. We wanted to focus on, let me just navigate my screen to the old Crown Council website. As Crown Council finished up our Smiles for Life program this year, the Smiles for Life Whitening program has come to an end, and the last of our donations are kind of trickling in. Let me share my screen to the Crown Council website. Okay, you're looking at crowncouncil.com. Let's log in real quick since I'm not logged in. I'm going to log into the Crown Council site, which is just my name and password. Then you can set it up on your own. Very easy. And inside the Premium Member Hub, you'll see some weekly campaign totals. I'm not sure these have been updated yet for the final totals of Smiles for Life. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, they haven't been quite updated for final totals yet. We've still received a lot of donations in the last 16 days. So we'll focus on that in the next couple weeks, but get your donations in. They are still being received all through July as we wrap up Smiles for Life. Another thing that's going to be happening is you're going to be accountable for the kits that Ultradent has shipped to you. So we're going to be sending a reconciliation letter that shows your donations, how many kits you've ordered, and to what local charity that you want to have the check donated to, as well as the address. So those reconciliation letters are going to be coming soon. So now's a great time to kind of pull all your numbers together. One last thing that I want to talk about, and we talked about this last week, is working with your local charity. Some of the keys to success now, some of the things that are happening that you can do is as you find this local charity, you are going to have the opportunity to take the check to them. You're going to have the opportunity to engage with them in a way where they can post to their social media. They can tell your story of your donation. And especially you can figure out how to work next year with this local charity in an even better way. Finding ways to market, to cross brand, to get new patients from this charity, and figuring out a way for them to help you gain new patients through your local charity. Or maybe it's time to adjust. Maybe it's time to find one that your team can be a little more passionate about. We've got a lot of advice and information about how to best engage with your local charity. But, take a big check over, sign the check together, get a bunch of pictures of you presenting the check, maybe a video of you presenting the check. But there is a lot of great things that you can do in this month as you prepare to coordinate and work with your local charity with Smiles for Life. Okay, that's coming up. That's kind of our ending for Smiles for Life announcements, but very grateful for all the donations. We're definitely going to raise more than $1 million this year for children's charities, our humanitarian trips, and so many other great causes and local charities inside the Crown Council. So thank you. We're so grateful for this program and thankful for our opportunity to do good together. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Let me just navigate to it real quick. I've got a little information and especially a desire, a plea to everyone. So we are working on filling our humanitarian trips that are coming up. And those humanitarian trips are obviously filled with Crown Council members, Crown Council team members, and we want more than anything for those trips to be full. If you haven't heard us talk about our humanitarian trips, I'm going to just navigate real quick. This is on the crowncouncil.com website, and you can scroll down here to what is known as the Smiles for Life Foundation. A lot of ways to engage with the Smiles for Life Foundation. We talked about whitening, humanitarian trips, River for Hopes, and our clear aligner partnership with Xlor. So if you click here on humanitarian trips, it brings up a bit of an overview as well as a opportunity to see the dates and the sign up forms. So if you click here to register, we have a couple dates coming up. Our Chiapas trip in Mexico, October 17th through the 25th, and our Dominican Republic trip, November 1st through the 7th. If you have any desire to participate with these groups, navigate to these pages. There's a lot of information about the cost. You can submit your registration to participate, and we will reach out to you about what it takes to be on these trips. They are coming so fast, and we don't quite have them full, and we would love to fill them. So if you have not been, or if you have been and want to go, there is an opportunity to participate. Reach out to us here at the Crown Council or navigate to these pages and register. We would love for you to be there. In this page, you can see over here on the left, a lot of great information to help you decide, kind of like as we talk about what you pack, the words that you could learn, the schedule for the trips, kind of how it looks the week. You will be have to pay for your own flights, which is a part of the trip. And then some travel tips and facts about what it's like, how it works, how you can be on the humanitarian trips. And then we're also very available to help you make this decision, answer any questions that you had about bringing your team or going alone, maybe with your spouse. But we would love to fill those trips and have you as part of the group with our humanitarians. All righty. That's it for this week. Grateful to have you with us. Grateful to focus on Eagle U. Thankful for all those that have joined us. So we're ending just a little early today. Let me check my calendar real quick. I believe that we're going to be back next week. Same as normal. We're going to have a normal show. And then the following week, July 29th and 30th, we're going to have a live recorded webinar. So you can either join us Wednesday or you can join us Thursday. It's the same webinar on both, but there's going to be registration and you can participate. I believe that the topic there is turning your worst month into your best month. Statistically, September is kind of a tough month for patients and workflow, and we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to fill that schedule for September. So looking forward to that. Thanks for joining today. Grateful to have you with us. Have a great rest of your day and week, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.